Good morning. Just a couple quick thoughts for this morning. God led me to Romans 8, which is never a wrong time for that chapter. In Romans 8, it just goes on and on about the spirit that we live in that's not the spirit of fear, that has the Holy Spirit in us, that there is no condemnation for those who are in Jesus. And just a thought I had of just asking God to let my mind today be filled with life, which is His spirit of life, not of death and not of hopelessness or anger or whatever else might be trying to fill our minds, but to have peace. And that's kind of where the rest of, I think, the thoughts went, especially looking at that first chapter of Acts again, and the thought of Jesus telling the disciples that they would have power from Jerusalem to do the task that He had them to do, and that He, as He was rising up into heaven and blessing them, and the angels saying that the same Jesus who was leaving up into heaven that you're seeing get hidden by the clouds will be coming back again, very clearly being Jesus coming back in victory. So that's a thought for whatever you may be dealing with today that may be painful, that may be kind of some deaths, whether you're grieving the loss of summer, maybe the grief of loss of whatever may be, again, happening in your life. So in my reading from Psalm 30, actually that's a verse that came to my mind, Psalm 30 verse 5, that says, "Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning." And I guess it was Isaiah 65 verse 19 that was in the devotion for today. And it just seems to all come together with the thought that there's a time of grief that on earth there will be things that we grieve. Isaiah 65:19 says, "I will rejoice over Jerusalem and take delight in my people. The sound of weeping and of crying will be heard in it no more." So whatever may be, again, grieving you or causing you pain today, God's got a place where that's not going to happen anymore, because of the cross of Jesus, where He suffered all the pain for us, that there will be an end to weeping and crying and pain. And so at the moment you may not be able to believe it or see it, but I'm here to say that God says it's not over yet, and He already won the war, but we face these battles, but we know already victory is ours. So these verses from the devotion were cool, and he's the devotion writer says, "Weeping will be exchanged for, or the weeping willow will be exchanged for the palm branch of victory." There's another verse in the Bible that says He'll exchange our ashes, beauty for ashes. So ashes were what they would wear in grief. They would cover themselves with ashes. I believe, and even when you think of Him saying to Lazarus, "Take the grave clothes off." So we don't have to live in defeat at all, because we have the victory. We are already more than conquerors and overcomers. Weeping willows will be exchanged for the palm branches of victory, and in heaven will be eternally secure. Sin will be shut out, and we are shut in, not in a way of being trapped, but in a way of being safe. We will dwell in a city that has never stormed. In other words, having to fear like people are going to take over us, or feeling going to be conquered by anything negative, not in heaven. and even on earth. God promises to watch over us. We can bask in a sun that never sets. That sounds really good. Today we can drink from a river that never dries. And he does say he's the water of life even now, that whoever drinks from him, from his spirit, will never thirst. And then we'll pluck fruit from a tree that never withers. So that's heaven, but that can even be now, that God just says, I gave you everything you need. In Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. He'll give me everything I need. Feel free to weep a little bit today. It's okay to feel. It's okay to hurt. But recognize we don't need to do that forever. God's still got a plan for our life on earth. And He has definitely a time of no more weeping or grief or sadness in heaven. So God bless your day as you live in victory. Thanks for listening.